Hello, welcome to the Knitting Project. My name is Sharon and I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family and my animals. Today is Thursday the 24th of October 2024 and this is episode 163. Welcome if you are a new viewer, welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is my podcast all about my crafty stuff that I've got up to during the week, and I got well and truly hung up on a particular project. So literally there's 3 projects I'm going to show you that I have actually worked on. I have done work on them. I did not hit my gnome target. I was going to try and do it yesterday, but for various reasons I didn't. And yeah, so I've got no gnome today to show you, so I've missed that target. But I will try and work on her at some point. It's not because I don't want to work on her, it's just because she's a bit complicated. I need to be in the mindset to do that, and if I'm tired at the end of work, I'm just not in the mindset to do that. However, you will see, as I'm about to show you, and if you've not watched the vlogs, I really got stuck on a project this week, and I did make really good progress on it, so there is that. But first of all, let's dive straight into the knitting content. Right, so first up is Living in My Luna bag, which is a Stitched by Mrs. D bag. My black cat kind of matches my dress today. And this is the Tchaikovsky hat by Curious Handmade, and it's from Knit Event 2017. I know this because it actually says it on the pattern if you look carefully. And that's it. That particular knit event, that 2017 knit event, I love that knit event. It's so nice. So many beautiful patterns. I like the Tchaikovsky mitts, and if I have enough left over from my yarn, I'm going to try and make myself the mitts too. So this is a DK, and it's from Skiing Queen, and it's the 2021 Newbury. It's called Rainbows Over Newbury, and it's from the Southern Wool Show in 2021. It was their show colour, and it's so much fun to knit, especially when you get to like these really dark pops. I love putting my needles through those dark pops. So yeah, I've made some real progress on this. I'm on... So if you don't know Helen Stewart's patterns, you get a grid, and without giving too much away, on the grid it gives percentages. So I'm up to, I've passed 60% and I'm heading towards 70%. So I've got quite a lot of this done, and I did most of this whilst I was editing yesterday. So that's the start of it. So it's got 1x1 twisted rib at the bottom, which you start on 3.5mm needles, and then you go up to 4.5mm needles, and you've got the pattern on the top. I don't know whether you can, it's not the best yarn to show off the pattern, but I think you can just about see here and there where the little pearl bumps are. And yeah, I love this. So that's where I was when I last spoke to you. So I've done all that, most of that yesterday. I actually, having said that, I think I'd finished the rib. Maybe I had a couple of the rib rows to go, but I certainly did all this bit yesterday. I'd like to get it done in time for the retreat. That's kind of so I can wear it if it's cold, because it can get cold up there. But yeah, I really like it. I've got a pom-pom for it. I'm going to put a pom-pom on it, I think. I don't know. Jury's out on that, because my problem with pom-poms is they're so weighty. They tend to pull the hat off my head, because I've got some sort of silly round head that hats don't like staying on. Yeah. But yes, I love this. I love how pretty this is. And I've really enjoyed it. So I'm knitting on 2 circulars. So it's the same method as I used to knit my socks. I used to knit my hat. This is, these are, as I said, 4.5, and they're Chalgo needles. And they were new. And I used the cloth that I used to clean my glasses. I didn't put any like cleaner on it, but I just used that to run over the cables, and they weren't as sticky. So thank you for that tip. Yeah, and it's another one I'm really enjoying. So the pattern comes in all sorts of sizes. So you've got baby, child, adult and large adult. So this is the adult size I'm doing, and I don't know how baby is, because I might see if I can do a matching one for Ira. It depends on how much yarn I've got left, because if I haven't got enough left to do the Tchaikovsky mitts, I might just make a hat for Ira with the leftovers. But we will see. Did I get gauged? No idea. I haven't checked. It's a hat. I mean, it can only be so far off, yeah? So that's the ball band for the yarn. And it's a 75-25 merino nylon. So that's that one. Next up is one I'm glad, I think my daughter will be glad I've actually made some progress on. So this is living in my Toad Hollow Halloween bag. And these are the Exploding TARDIS socks, and I have finished sock 1. So the last time you saw me these, I was there where that pumpkin is, and I was just about to do the heel turn, the heel flap and heel turn. So I've done all of that and done the foot. So I finished that one, and if I'm going to get these finished in time for Halloween, I do actually need to work on these. So between my hat and that, I really need to crack on. However, I also want to get the jumper I'm doing to a certain stage before I go to the retreat, because then I could knit on that. And I haven't got that many days left. But I need to get this finished first, because this has the first deadline. The hat doesn't matter if I don't get finished, because at the end of the day, that's my own, you know, on my own head be it. Haha. So I'm sorry. Literally, as I was hearing those words in my head, I was like, yeah, that's a really bad joke, Sharon, honestly. So anyway, this is how far I've got on this one. I'm halfway down the leg. I don't know how much more I've got to do. Yeah, I've got a few more rows before the heel flap. Probably about 10 rounds to do. So yeah, I'm going down the leg. And yeah, like I said, I really want to get this done. So this is, it's called Exploding TARDIS. Can't remember who it's by. Crystal dyed yarn, something like that. And it's a merino lyrics mix. So it's super sparkly, like really sparkly. I don't know if you can see how sparkly it is on the sock on the camera. It's, yeah, as I said, it would double quite well as Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night, given the colours and the fact it is so sparkly. So I said to Meg she can choose which one she prefers. It's designed to be, it's called Exploding TARDIS, but yeah, it's not as soft as you would think. And Meg did sort of go, oh, I wonder whether I'll be able to wear that on my feet. But I'm hoping it might soften up a bit once it's washed, because it'll be a shame if she can't wear them. She might have to wear like a little pair of cotton socks underneath it and then wear those as like bed socks or something. But yeah, so I'm getting there. Again, I'm using 2 circlers, and this time I'm on 2.5mm needles. This is just my own vanilla sock, which is pretty much Cat Bordy's 2 socks saw and 2 circular needles vanilla pattern. So I've got a 1x1 twisted rib, because apparently I hate myself. And then it's just a heel flap and heel turn, and then pick up for the gussets, and then a wedged toe, which is just, it's the standard Cat Bordy pattern, but hers has got sort of it's got a different rib. It's just got a 2x2, I think. I can't remember if it was 2x2 or 1x1, but it's one of the two. And then at the end, because I didn't have a sewing up needle at the time, I did a 3 needle bind off, but you really can't tell that that's not kitchenered. You really can't tell. In fact, I had to look twice because I was like, I know I did a 3 needle bind off, but that definitely looks like a Kitchener. It's not. It's 100% not. And I have sewn in all my ends because that's the way we roll. I do like sewing in my ends. So that's that. Not much else to say about it really. It's a sock. It's a very nice sock. It's for Meg for Halloween, and I would like to get it finished. And I need to get on with it. So perhaps I should crack on with that one today, and then we're going to go into the one that's had all the love. So the one that's had all the love this week, and it really has had all the love, is living in my giant bucket bag from So Remi, and which is perfect for this project. I know if you've followed the vlogs, you'll know what this is going to be, but this is the Winterfell, and it's by Knit Love Wool, Jennifer Steingass. And that's the picture, and that's the title. Oh, it's Winter Soul. I don't know why I keep calling it Winterfell, but it's a Winter Soul. Apologies if you've been looking for that for the last week. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think it had any more of that colour, but it does. It's got that colour around there. That's because I was thinking about dyeing up a back down colour at the retreat and holding it double to get the worsted weight or the full or the DK, but that might not work. That might not be enough yardage in that case. all good intentions. Anyway, so I started off holding the pink with floof, but because I had an issue with coughing when I'm using floof, I abandoned that. Right, just wanted to make sure I put some stitch stoppers on because I didn't want the stitches falling off. Right, so I was using the floof, and then I've taken it out. So the very bottom part of this has got floof, but the top hasn't, but you really can't tell. I mean, even looking closely, I can't tell. So I finished the yoke. Oh, and I absolutely love this. I can't tell you how much I love this. It's so soft as well. So that's where I had the floof in there. And then that's where I've gone into no floof. It actually is a good place because it's kind of the end of a section. So in that respect, I worked really well. It was a good place to stop it. And I love the neckline on this. Oh, I love how the neckline is. And I'm now just going down. I'm going round and round on the rest of the yoke before the body. So this bit here needs to be a certain length before you split for the sleeves. And I think I'm about 4 or 5 rounds off of doing that. So I think I need to pick a project and just work on that project until I've got it to the stage where I need it to be for the deadlines that I have in my head. So the socks need to be finished without a doubt. I am going to see a friend at the weekend, so if I was to take the socks, they're good friend knitting and chatting, so I could get them done. I could have in my head, I get that sorted, then finished by Sunday, which I think if I knit them all the journey there whilst I'm there and the journey back, I would probably smash that. I probably would get them done. And then my hat I could do after that. And I could work on this before I go. And then I could take this with me to Kate's to knit on if I finish the socks, which I won't, but you know. So I think this is the one that I might go back to. I'm also very conscious that these podcasts will be extremely short if I only knit on one project. So as you can see, this is colour work, and I'm using 4mm needles, so it's quite tight colour work. And I mean, my floats, you know when people turn it over and you can see the pattern on the back? That's not me. They're my floats. There is no way you can see the pattern on the back of that. Not even vaguely. But you can't see my floats, so there's that. It's easy colour work in as far as, I think there might be one round where you end up with all 3 colours at the same time. No, there isn't. There's not even, yes there is. There is 2 rounds where you are knitting with all 3 colours. But they're there are a couple of really easy rounds. And the band chart. The band chart, there's 1 round where you're knitting with 3 colours. But obviously you don't actually need to have the bands if you don't want to. The jury's out as to whether I'm going to do the bands or not. Possibly not on the next one I make if I need the yarn, if I run out of the yarn for the yoke. I also like the stitch definition of this yarn. You can see it so clearly. It doesn't merge at all. I've got a feeling I'll get bored with the green when I'm going round and round with the green, but hey. It's going to be quite a weighty sweater. That said, I used, so these are 100g balls. So this is Sirdar Country Classic. It is a commercial yarn. And it's merino and acrylic. It's 50% merino wool, 50% acrylic. And it's a worsted weight. Yeah, Sirdar Country Classic. And I use, so what's the yardage? That's what I would pick this up. I was like, I'm thinking, what was there was a purpose to this. What's the yardage on this? Does it say? 218 yards, 200 metres. Makes it more of a DK than a worsted, doesn't it? But anyway, all that aside, I used less than 100 grams for all of that. So for all of that pink, that was less than 100 grams. It was certainly less than that on the brown, but there's not as much brown on that as there looks. Sorry, just had to go and comfort a screaming dog. I don't know why she always does that during our podcast. I know it's because she can hear me talking. She thinks I'm talking to someone. So yeah, so that used less than a whole 100g ball. So far I've used 1 ball of the pink, 1 ball of the brown, and my second ball of the green. But that's only because I don't know where my first ball of my green has gone. That had disappeared. I think maybe it's in the caravan. Don't know. So I've swapped to a second ball. So the last time you saw this, I was there. And now I've finished the whole of the yoke. And then if you remember, the yoke was on waste yarn at the bottom. So what you do for the waste yarn is you pick up every right leg of the stitch before your first row of your provisional cast on. So you've got your provisional cast on, then you've got your first row of the green, and in the first row of the green you pick up every right leg of the stitch with some waste yarn and a needle. Now I was a little bit dubious about doing it with a sewing needle rather than just picking it up straight up on these, because I felt that the stitches might tighten up and then it would be difficult to get the needles in. But in actual fact they absolutely did not, and it worked fine. And I ended up snipping rather than unraveling my I think I did 3 rows of provisional cast on, because I can't remember the name of the provisional cast on, but there's a provisional cast on where you do just a normal cast on for the amount of stitches you want, and then you knit a few rows so that this ends up as like your normal tension, rather than, you know, how whenever you like cast something on, the first couple of rows are quite tight and a bit uneven, or at least they are for me. Because you've knit that out already on your provisional cast on, this ends up just as normal. Now, I mean, you can see a little bit of puckering there. That's where I've not quite caught all of the stitch, but otherwise you cannot see where the provisional cast on ended and the new yarn has gone on. So I will definitely use that method again. And this has been interesting. It's been an interesting construction. So you knit the yoke first, and then you pick up these stitches, and now I'm going around to get the right depth on my yoke, and then once I've got the right depth on my yoke, I'm going to split for the sleeves, etc. Very, very interesting. I'm very much enjoying the construction of this and just this jumper in general. I have a feeling that this could be one I would wear all the time if I ever get it finished. And we know me, I get all of these grand, I love this, it's all I want to knit on, and then it disappears and you never see it again. So fingers crossed I stick with this one and I get it done. Perhaps you all should nag me and go, oh, well, how's the progress on your Winterfell? There is none. There's no progress. Wintersole, not Winterfell. Oh, I'm going to have to remember to say that properly. Yes, I think that's all I can say about that. It's just, I love it. Absolutely love it. As I said, really want to get that to at least split for the sleeves and the body, because then I'll do the sleeves and then I'll do the body. So that's that. So that is the last of the knitting. I'm really sorry. So next up is, I was going to answer any questions on the previous podcast. I have no questions, but I did have a tip from a lovely viewer about putting fluffy projects in the freezer so that you can work on them without the fluff flying everywhere, which sounds like a genius idea. But I think I replied to the comments and said I'd love to see Ian's face if he opens the freezer and finds a knitting project in there. I think he's going to go, is there no cupboard in this house where you have not got yarn? You know, I mean, theoretically it should all be confined to in here, but it really is not. There is really stuff all over the place, and the lounge mainly, and my bedroom maybe, and there's a bit in the pink room. Don't think there's any in the grey room. I think I've had that all out. Don't think I've got anything in the, well, I have got stuff in the kitchen, but that's only because it's been turfed out of here, so it should live in here. It's just gone in the kitchen temporarily. The hall definitely hasn't got anything. The bathrooms, I don't think have got anything. The utility room definitely has yarn in it. 100% that's got yarn in it, because there's a cupboard at the end of it which I use as overflow storage. The girls' bedrooms, not so much. But yeah, I mean, I do have yarn. I mean, there's definitely yarn in the shed. There's yarn everywhere. Yarn in the loft, yarn in the shed. There's yarn everywhere. I'm very aware that I kind of removed my commercial yarn temporarily into a box. And I think I've got a set that would work on another Vintersole, so I need to go and find that. I also need to go and sort out the dog. I'll be back. So I have got some happy mail. I've got some lovely happy mail. I decided that because I couldn't find any of my Halloween stitch markers, that I would treat myself to a couple. So I haven't got many, but I've got a couple of bits and pieces. So this is from Tiny Charms Studio. There's a little pumpkin. It's a little happy pumpkin. Let's open that. There we go. Then we're not battling the shine on the pack. Look. So cute. So cute. So I've got a little happy pumpkin and little card says Happy Halloween. And then from Audacious You. There's a little bat thank you on that one. It came so prettily packaged. Isn't that cute? So it's, and in here, it's got its own little drawstring bag. I got a little black cat on a broomstick, a ghostie with a pumpkin, and a little black cat in a pumpkin. Oh, they're so cute, aren't they? So I've actually got some more actual pumpkin stitch markers, but my lovely friend Jules, who is so sweet, Violet, sent me an amazing package on, yeah, just blown away. So she sent me a couple of little places to keep these stitch markers now that I found them, so I can have one, and she's named them for me. I've got autumn on that side and Halloween on that side, and inside she's been really generous, bless her. She sent me a little pumpkin on the Halloween side, and on the autumn side, this is so pretty, it's definitely going to the retreat with me, I've got a little acorn. That is gorgeous, so pretty. Little toadstool. What? And a fox. Oh, I love them so much. Really do. Thank you, Jules. You are amazing. And she also has put in some little labels. So we've got Easter, spring, winter, summer, Halloween, Christmas, and crystals. Yeah. Oh, I could put my crystals in one of these, couldn't I? Well, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. At the moment, they're living in here, but they are outgrowing this. This is a very full. These are my favourite stitch markers now, which are all over my desk. They do like escaping, I have to say. They stay in there. So, and they come in this sectioned little pot. These are lovely. They're really satisfying. I can't quite put my hand on why they are, but they're just really satisfying to hold and touch. And then you can clip them shut. I've got two. I've got this lovely stone colour and beautiful blue. Thank you very much, Jules. Jules sells these in her shop, and I think we'll do you some labels as well if you mention what 2 labels you want with yours. So they're brilliant. So I've got a Halloween one and an autumn one, and I'm definitely going to do Christmas. I was definitely going to do Christmas, but now she's giving me the crystal idea. I might do crystals as well. So I might do Christmas and crystals. Oh, that'd be such a good idea. Well, now I've just got ideas for everything. Oh, well, that's going to be a vlog thing later as I try and find these and put them in there. That'd be quite a good one for the vlog. So yeah, that's my happy mail, which I love. They're so sweet, and thank you again, Jules. That was really generous of you. So kind. Got such lovely friends. So I am going to try and just finish off the shelf in there, because I've got hardly any projects left on that shelf, and it won't take me that long. So I'm going to try and do that today, so that'll be on today's vlog, which you would have seen before you see the podcast anyway. That's going to mess with my head. But I'm not sure this is the longest podcast. Are you enjoying these? Are you enjoying the shorter ones, but, you know, weekly? Let me know. They're working for me because there's not so much to edit. There's not so much that I'm holding on to around the office, so that I can't do that until I podcast, and then I end up with these hour-long podcasts that take me 2 hours to edit. So this is working a lot better for me at the moment. So I hope it's working for you too. Oh, I was just thinking one of those other ones for that could be my corner of craft beaded stitch markers. Oh, too many choices. I have no idea why she's whining now. I promise that she's not being mistreated. I don't know what she wants other than to go out. I think she's just not out actually because she can get outside. The door is open. It's a beautiful sunny day here today. The back door is open. It's not a cloud in the sky actually. She can get outside. I think she just wants company and she thinks I'm in here talking to someone. Very difficult to explain to a dog that you're talking to yourself. I'm not, of course. I'm talking to you lot. Right, I think that's it. Have I got anything else to mention? I don't think so. No, that's it. Okay, right, I'm going to get on with editing this now. So I hope you're all okay wherever you are. Take care, and I will hopefully see you next week.